So I made YouTube videos full-time as a job for over 8 years, and now I own a company called Small Screen that manages over 300 creators doing the exact same thing. And today we're going to be talking about the things that you don't really hear about and the downsides of being an influencer. Now, don't get me wrong, being an influencer, it truly is one of the most joke jobs ever. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but when you really think about it, you are being paid, in some cases, copious amounts. We're talking millions of dollars to make videos about your life or about your passion or about your hobby. This could be anywhere from pottery to traveling the world to cars to tech to just holding up a camera and following around your daily life. And there are so many amazing perks that come with that. I mean, the money is one. You have people that are in their early 20s, sometimes even in their teens, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year, which if you save and invest that money, that is truly life-changing money at that age. On top of that, in my experience, not only can you make a really good living, but many of my best friends that I have to this day were made because of being an influencer. I really hate the term influencer. I wouldn't call myself an influencer, but I feel like that's the term that's in vogue. Maybe we say creator instead. And you'll hear hundreds of influencers online talk about how amazing their life is and the brand trips they just got to go on, or the fancy hotel they're staying at in Dubai. And that stuff definitely happens, and it's a great time when it does happen. But there are a ton of negatives, and some negatives that honestly take a huge toll on your mental health and your well-being from being an influencer if you don't handle it right. So here are some things that I've seen through myself, my friends, and our 300 clients that we work with that really suck about being an influencer. The first thing we got to touch on is the income instability. Now, if you're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, that is terrific and good for you. But that doesn't always look like a steady income. We have many clients where one month they might make $80,000 and the next month they might make $8,000. Now, if you average that out across the course of a year, that's a fantastic living. But month to month, it can be extremely stressful to manage your finances, know what you can afford, because just because you had a $50,000 brand deal come in last month doesn't mean you're gonna get another one of those, potentially ever, if we're being honest. And knowing what you can afford, what you should be spending on your rent or your house or your car or your groceries or your vacations can become extremely stressful. I can speak to this personally. So age 18 to age 27, I had never been on a salary per se. I had been making YouTube videos, and then when starting this business, I would pay myself out profits when we had them. And that led me to be very neurotic about spending money. Like, I would be scared to go to a nice dinner. I would be scared to spend too much on a hotel room. I would be scared to spend too much on rent because I truly had no idea what was going to be coming in the next month. And now that I'm on the other side of it, 2023 and 2024, I've started paying myself a regular salary. I can only tell you, I'm jealous of all you guys that have W-2 jobs. I really am, because that stability of knowing, hey, this much money is going to hit my account on this day of the month really opens up your ability to properly allow yourself to enjoy life. And I really think that instability or that uncertainty of how much money is going to be coming in the next month is a massive downside that can cause a lot of stress. Now, on the flip side, another problem you see with being an influencer, and this one I would really caution any of you that end up growing a following and doing well, first, congratulations. Second, don't think it's gonna last forever. One thing we really try and do at Small Screen is help our creators make content and build an audience in ways that lasts for as long as possible. We really, truly do want all of our creators to have 10, 15, 20-year careers, but that is oftentimes not the case. There are many creators that will blow up and have a great 3-year run, and then for whatever reason, whether they don't innovate their content or audience tastes change, or maybe they just get burnt out. They stop making content, or they lose a large chunk of their audience and they don't have that earning peak for as long as they thought they might. And I've seen this multiple times of a creator have their first few months of making good money and all of a sudden there's a brand new car, or there's 2 brand new cars, or there's a brand new luxury high-rise apartment that all of a sudden they're renting. And that always makes me really, really nervous for creators because you don't know how long this is going to last. I sincerely hope for everyone it lasts as long as possible. But spending the majority of your income when you're in this new income bracket, it's not a good idea and it can get people in trouble a lot. My recommendation to any of our clients and to any creators out there is if you start making really good money, if you start making more money than you were making at your job or that you've ever thought you could make, save as much of it as humanly possible for years. I know that's not as fun. You don't get the luxury car, you don't get the crazy vacation, but it could set you up for the rest of your life to never have to worry about going back to get a real job. Just Google it. There are tons of stories of influencers going bankrupt, and I truly wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. I think it's a lot like the early days of big NBA contracts where these NBA players didn't know how to deal with this much money. I think it's very similar now with influencers, where this is really the first generation of influencers making millions and millions of dollars, and many of them just don't know how to handle it. Another downside, and this one really honestly took a toll on me, is never being able to shut it off. Never being able to shut off your job. Now, that's kind of funny for me to say because now owning a company, I'm constantly thinking about it. Whether it's Tuesday in the afternoon or it's a Sunday night, I'm always thinking about it. Like, it never gets out of my brain. But for some reason, it's a lot less stressful when it's a company, it's not me. When I was making content, I was never able to shut off thinking about the next video, about how today's video was performing, about what I was going to do next week, about how I was going to get more people to subscribe, how I was going to get more people to watch. And it was really stressful because it wasn't a business I was trying to grow. It was really just me on screen. And that constant pressure of what am I doing next? What am I doing next? What am I doing next? Kind of leads me into my next thing. And I truly think the biggest thing that is not talked about enough is the mental health issues that come with being an influencer. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, I think we really overdiagnose mental health problems these days. I don't think everyone walking around that feels a little stressed out is dealing with anxiety. But at the same time, it does take a toll on your mental health. Now, thankfully, I never dealt with it too bad, but I definitely went through some bouts of existential crisis when I had a stretch of videos that weren't performing well and I was worrying about, am I going to have to get a real job? What am I gonna do to pay the bills? Is this gonna be a sustainable career? And I know it's a lot worse for a lot of our clients. We have clients that take months long, in some cases years long breaks because mentally it just took such a toll on them that they can't do it. It's really stressful because you truly do feel like you're in a fishbowl and oftentimes you have no one to talk to. Think about it. If you're stressed at your job, you have all of your coworkers to talk to who will understand your problems, can relate to you, they'll know how annoying your manager is or how bad the break room lunch is. When you're an influencer, oftentimes, and many times, especially when you're starting out, you don't know anyone else that can relate to what you're doing. Your friends have regular jobs, your friends are in college, they don't get the stress that goes into it, they just see the fun side of brands sending you products and you getting sponsorships and you going on trips. It's really hard to find someone that relates to the stress of being in this fishbowl with hundreds of thousands or millions of people providing feedback to you. Also, a thing that I would really encourage and what I see through our creators is the creators that make their content about something they're passionate about or something they like versus content about themselves. It's a lot easier to stay disconnected from the feedback and the fishbowl effect if the content isn't about you, it's about something you're passionate about. Someone making pottery or someone reviewing houses or someone talking about the new tech from Apple. It's a lot easier to remove yourself from what you're doing than if it's a vlog about you and your life. And now, hey, if that's what you want to make content about and that's what you're passionate about, that's totally fine. But what I will say is, from what I've seen over hundreds of creators, it's a lot easier to fall into that cycle of stressing yourself out, working yourself into this doom spiral when the content is just about you. Because that way there's no outlet, there's no way to remove yourself from it. It can get pretty bad. Like I said, we've had clients that have literally taken years off of content in the midst of making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They did not think the money was worth the stress and the mental burden that they were taking on as a result of it. I mean, overall, I still think it's one of the easiest careers when you take into account what you're actually doing and how much money you can be getting paid from it. That's not to say it's easy. Our clients put in a ton of hard work every single day, but it sure beats sitting at a desk for $52,000 a year. I would never tell someone not to do it. I had so much fun making videos and I'm extremely grateful. It was a period of my life where I could travel the world and make videos full time, and that's all I had to do every single day. It was incredible, but there are a lot of downsides that come with it, and I think it's important to talk about those. So hopefully this video taught you something that you didn't know about being a creator. If you are a creator, if you're a brand looking to work with creators, we're always available to talk and would be happy to work with you. Shoot me an email at my email in the description below. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace.